And we're going live to Facebook in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Thursday. And today is Health and Wealthness Day. We're with our co-host, Ms. Francine Gregory, who will be joining us shortly. She's the real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, but she's doing some techie stuff right now. And today, our guest host is Ms. Robin Shimizu. She is going to be talking to us about, don't say it, hormones! So guys, don't run. You need to sit back and relax. It's all going to be okay. And we're going to learn some things about hormones and how to do business better. As we know more, we can do better. Okay, how you doing today, Robin?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much, Terry and Francine. Good to see you guys. Haven't seen you guys in a while.
Yeah, I just want to say we love you, girl. We've missed you.
Well, I just want to acknowledge also, the guests that we've had on this Thursday mornings. They've been just phenomenal and so generous, and so glad that we got to meet them and they're willing to help us out. I'm just thrilled with, Linda and Heidi and Brian and Linus. It's just wonderful. But anyway,
please watch them on the replay.
Right. They have fabulous information and it covers the gamut. But today I thought, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a new business and I'm dealing with a product that regulates hormones. And so I've been diving into hormones recently and learning as much as I can about hormones. And there's a lot of information on the internet about hormones, and I want to find an expert out there. I know there are experts out there that can come onto the program and dive deeper, but today is just an introduction and kind of a reminder for a lot of people and maybe news for a lot of people in terms of what hormones are. I really didn't pay a lot of attention to what a hormone is, but what they are, they're molecules, and they serve as chemical messengers for your body and your cellular structure. And so they're kind of like the internet or the interdepartmental email within your body.
Whoa.
They are secreted by glands, and there's tons of different glands in our body, in different locations in our body. And also by some organs like our intestines will secrete hormones, and kidneys will secrete hormones. And it's really fascinating. They kind of all work in conjunction together, like an orchestra would work in your body. So let's just go over the different glands.
Okay, hold it. You better make this real elementary for me.
I am. It's me talking, you guys. It's me. Okay. I am not a scientist, but I'm somebody who loves to learn about new things. And the thing about hormones is that they regulate everything in your body. I mean, they regulate how your brain works, how you lose and increase your fat storage, energy, sex drive, emotions, moods, hydration, hunger, sleep. Everything is related to your hormones and how they're humming along in your body. And when they're not humming along, that's when we have problems.
Okay, hold it. I have one question before we go any further. Is it just women that have hormones?
No. Absolutely not. Now, we have hormones and men have hormones, and some are distinctly different. But for primarily for women, it's our hormones come from the ovaries. And for men, their hormones come from their testes. But then there's so we'll go over this. So the pituitary gland is like the mothership hormone gland. So the pituitary gland is located in your brain. And it's a little tiny organ that regulates and triggers hormones throughout your body. So it's like the mother or fathership hormone. And it often is involved in the different glands. It's the one that tells the gland to start working, whatever gland we're talking about. So the hypothalamus is also in the brain, and it regulates temperature, hunger, other glands, and thirst and sleep and sex drive. And it's a tiny little thing also in your brain. There's the thyroid that produces hormones that are associated with calorie burning and heart rate. The adrenal, so we've always heard about the adrenal glands. They're located right there by your kidneys. They produce hormones that control sex drive, cortisol, and stress. Then there's a pineal gland, which produces serotonin and melatonin. And that affects your sleep, of course. And then we have the ovaries and testes. So those are kind of the main glands that produce hormones in our. So it's like there's 6 hormones that I wanted to cover today because they're very popular and we all kind of know about them, but we don't know how to increase our hormones in our bodies naturally through foods and things like that. And we're going to go through that a little bit too.
Oh, wow. I'm excited. Okay. No, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was like super fun. Okay. So serotonin, we've all heard about serotonin, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Serotonin is known as the happiness and the feel good hormone. And it controls appetite, mood, sleep cycles, it's 90% of the serotonin that's produced in your intestines and in your blood platelets. And so it plays a really important role in your digestion. So you have good serotonin or plenty of it in your system if you sleep well, if you have high self-esteem, if you have relatively good mood, if you have a healthy appetite and sexual desire, if you memorize easily, and so your brain is like really, snapping well, and if you it helps you multitask. Serotonin is a pretty incredible little hormone that we need because it's our happiness hormone.
I like happiness.
If you're serotonin, then you have panic attacks, you have anxiety, you have depression, you can get angry easily, and you have obsessive behavior, like you have thinking, then this thought will just never leave. Those are symptoms of lack of serotonin. So serotonin is super, super important. And how you get it naturally is you eat bananas, you eat yogurt, you go outside and get sunshine for your vitamin D. And it's just, I don't know what else to tell you about that because there are other ways of increasing your nutrition. And one of the things I thought we could do later, because I haven't done enough research, is how do we regulate our hormones to help our health by eating? Because it can all be regulated or helped or increased or decreased by the way we eat. Because it's amazing, right? Dopamine is another one. Do you guys want to ask questions? Because I don't.
No, but I know that we do have a biz chick, Maureen Stevenson, who actually does dinners around this subject, teaching women how to eat better to improve their health.
That's right.
To improve their hormones.
Hormonal balance.
For their hormone health. And I'm like, oh, now I get a little bit more about why she does that. Do you understand me? It becomes just by what you just shared makes it a lot more clear for me. I'm like, oh,
exactly.
Because hormones were kind of like, I'm not sure exactly what it does. And when you don't understand something or you don't know about it, you're kind of like, I'll leave that alone. But then when you get more information, now you can make different decisions.
Yes.
Because you have different information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Maureen would be great if she came onto the program and just went over some of the foods that we could increase.
Or the menu, yeah.
Right. And I saw that. I think she was posting something on Facebook, and I thought, oh, that's interesting that she has that program. And she's part of our Biz Chick family.
Yeah, exactly.
That's super cool, huh?
Yeah. So we're going to have her come on and talk about that. The two of you talking about the hormones and then how to do meal preparation to enhance it. It's going to be good.
Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. I'll talk to her. She and I are friends, and I'll just reach out to her because I've been thinking about how to include her in this anyway. So this is great.
There you go.
Okay, so dopamine. We've all heard about dopamine. It's located in the hypothalamus in the brain. That's how it's released. It's in our brain, and it's known as the pleasure and reward hormone. So it can motivate you or it can demotivate you. So if you don't have enough, then you are lethargic, and I'll go over that in just a minute. It also is the hormone that helps you feel pride when you accomplish a difficult task, and you reward yourself with this dopamine, this feeling of happiness, basically pleasure. Dopamine is also increased through illegal drugs, right? And alcohol, and believe it or not, chocolate. So between those three, what are you going to do? You're going to do chocolate, right?
I'm choosing the chocolate.
Me too. Or a glass of wine. But so if you're lacking in dopamine, what happens is you're slow, you're lethargic, you're uncoordinated, you can't control your body, Sorry, I
heard something, yeah.
Yeah, I hope my cat is okay. So I got off track here. I'm sorry. And if you have too much dopamine, then you have muscle tics, and you have unnecessary movements and things like that. So dopamine is very important.
I have a question. You know how some people tap their leg or bounce their leg? I wonder if that's causing that. Involuntary, and it's just, interesting. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, those are good observations. I don't know, but it very well could be, or it could just be, related to their nerves.
Yeah, overstimulation of something.
Mm-hmm. And so, how you can include dopamine in your nutrition is by eating fish, chicken, beans, like kidney beans and things like that, eggs, cheese, and nuts. So those are good resources for getting dopamine into your system. And those are pretty easy to include in your dietary, daily dietary. So dopamine and serotonin were the first two that were, to me, the most, mainstream. We always talk about our dopamine and our serotonin, right?
Right.
Okay, so this one, I didn't know this at all, but oxytocin. So oxytocin is considered or known as the cuddle or the love hormone. And this is really fun. So it's produced in the hypothalamus like dopamine, and it's secreted through the pituitary gland. And what it does is it boosts the feelings of love and trust. So that's why people are usually happier if they're in a relationship, because they have, they have love and trust in daily like that. It fights stress and lowers the blood pressure, and it can increase your sex drive. This is oxytocin. And if you don't have enough of it, then you can feel unworthy, tired, lonely, stressed. And people stay at home, they don't communicate, they kind of withdraw. Those people are lacking oxytocin. And so how you increase your oxytocin is
I'm getting depressed. Go ahead.
You just go get a massage. Now, isn't that fun? So that's why massages, like massage therapists, they say it's not something that just feels good. It's good for you. And it's something we should do for ourselves regularly, because the touching releases oxytocin in our system. Not only does it relax your muscles, but it makes you feel better.
So when I get my feet done and I have them massage my legs and put that hot towel on there,
yep,
I'm increasing, what's the hormone?
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin. Okay.
And see, I think a lot of times we try and what's the word? Justify not spending $100 to go and get a good massage.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you, and it's better than taking Prozac or whatever the chemical things that try and boost your hormones.
Yes.
I get a massage, eat properly. My goodness, simple things that we can do.
Isn't that fun? And the other thing that's really good for increasing oxytocin is so crazy. You just go around and hug people. You hug your friends.
Oh my gosh.
You just hug people and you get oxytocin from that because that's your showing of love and they get it. Isn't that simple?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
So when somebody says, I need a hug, give them a hug because that they're needing, and sometimes we don't understand why that's important.
And sometimes we walk up to people, and because we have emotional intuitiveness and intelligence, have you ever said to somebody, you just look like you need a hug?
Right.
I just, just hug them like, somebody cares. I see a difference in you. And I just want you to know that somebody cares.
I have a 95-year-old mother, and she's this tiny little thing. And she just loves to get hugged because she doesn't get enough touching. She lives by herself and all that. So when people come over, she just goes and grabs them by the waist and she hugs them. And it's because she needs that. I think she knows that. Mm-hmm. And so I've been thinking about her, about this whole thing. And I'm like, I got to hug my mom more. I got to physically hug her more. Not just feed her and take care of her and all that kind of stuff, but physically touch her.
Yes. And I think we should do this for people, not just people, people in our lives, but how it in the Bible talked about greeting people with a holy hug and a, now we understand a little more why you just want to hug somebody. Hey, how are you doing?
There's a connection going on that increases, which hormone is this?
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin. Okay. Because I can remember my grandmother saying, come over here and give me some sugar. And then you get over there and she would just hug you. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty cool, huh?
I mean,
and in our society, it is a thing to hug. I can remember when Michelle Obama went to London and she hugged the Queen. That's a natural instinct for us as a people to hug.
Mm-hmm. It's a form of greeting. It's a connection. And now we know that it actually stimulates happiness.
And so when people are like, no, don't hug me, they need a hug more than everybody else. The people who just like, I don't hug.
I mean, I actually met a woman who just told me before I even got close to her, don't hug me. She had it. I don't know what was going on, but she did not like to be touched. That's interesting, isn't it?
And that person may have imbalance of something wrong with her. It may not be oxytocin particularly. It could be her serotonin. It could be something else that's going on in her body.
Hormonal that is off.
It's off, right? And she just, Culturally, also, there's some people that don't hug culturally, but like the Japanese, they don't hug. That's not what they do. They don't. Not Japanese Americans do, but Japanese in Japan, tend not to be
huggers,
touchy-feely people.
And
we must really freak them out, huh?
Hello. But hugging is so much better than a pill.
Yes.
I can see how just learning this little bit about the hormones and what they do and that type of thing, man, and I don't have to go to the drugstore and buy something to regulate my hormones.
We just have to hug and go get massages.
Unless you're too happy, because I saw they got a drug for that now. Like, yes, there was actually an advertisement on it. It said, "Are you too happy?" I'm like, what?
No.
I am so against drugs, and
They got you coming and going, girl.
No, like they don't. Not me. I'm not doing it. I refuse to participate in the pharmaceutical parade.
Okay. More hugs, less drugs, says Penny. Thank you, Penelope.
Okay, so the next one is melatonin. Okay, we all know about melatonin. Everybody has an idea of what it is, and everybody's probably right. It's pretty common. But it's known as the anti-aging hormone. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
And it's your internal clock, of course, and it's produced by the pineal gland, which is in your brain also.
Okay.
And it helps combat stress. It also increases antioxidant receptors in your body, and it helps you sleep. Okay, we know that, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is when the sun is going down, the light receptors in your brain start releasing melatonin because it knows that, the sun is going down. And so that's why when the blue light, so what happens is the blue light from your phone or from your tablet or whatever, your TV, whatever, it actually is like it's like sunlight.
And it's short.
That's the difference. I didn't realize that when people kept saying blue light, blue light, blue light. Well, what does that mean? It means that it's simulating sunlight.
Correct.
So it's like synthetic sunlight.
Correct. And that's why on another show we talked about having the gunner glasses, because when you are on your computer and it blocks that blue light from going in.
Yeah.
But you need to go to sleep. So you need to put down the computer, turn off the lights in the room.
Yeah. And people have to get like the blackout drapes or wear a little mask or whatever, but it needs you need to get to, you need your sleep, because lack of melatonin causes obesity, cancer, and diabetes. We've gone over this before, right? About lack of sleep. And this is really fun. So one of the things that we should eat, because it's naturally high in melatonin, are cherries.
Oh,
who knew that? I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I guess I'll have to start eating some now.
And cherry pie. I don't know, was that work? But I love cherry pie.
A little piece can't hurt.
Cherry pie. And this is also interesting about melatonin. Don't wear tight clothes to bed.
Oh, to bed.
Right? So don't sleep in tight clothes. But it has been determined that tight clothes can decrease melatonin by 60%.
Wow. So
isn't that crazy?
But I can see how that works. Can you remember watching the old Westerns and the people had on night shirts that looked like this big loose bag?
Yeah.
The pajamas are made very loose. Have you noticed that?
And so there's a method to that madness, which has to do with circulation.
I don't know, but your melatonin, you apparently it works better when you're not all bound up, So
interesting.
Bra free.
Some people like to sleep naked.
Yeah.
Right. I can't. I just can't do it. But some people do, and that's probably really good for them, because you talk about no restrictions at all. But yeah, I like that. I thought that was pretty cool to learn about tight clothes and melatonin being reduced by 60%. That's crazy.
That's a lot. And so, take off the bra.
Off the bra.
Don't fall asleep in your clothes.
Exactly.
I've had evenings where I've actually fallen asleep. I was like, wait a minute, I thought everything was still closed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun, huh?
Interesting.
And maybe we need to not layer ourselves. You know how some people layer themselves in the winter so they don't have to turn the heat up?
Well, you know, you can layer it during the day, but when you go to bed, you need to
at night.
You get a flannel gown that's kind of loose.
Put another blanket on the bed or something. Because at least you're not bound by your clothes.
Right.
That's interesting.
It is.
And to sleep well, you do need to have the temperature in the room low. You want it cool. And so you do need the blankets on top of you. But it's I thought, oh, that's so interesting. And growing up, I know we only wore like little t-shirts and no underwear and stuff. So.
We had pajamas. We had night shirts.
And you went commando in the night. I mean, in the pajamas.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay, so there's a reason for that. Okay, endorphins is the next hormone that I wanted to talk about. And endorphins are the body's natural pain killer, per se. What it does is it decreases the pain intensity. So endorphins are a brain chemical known as neurotransmitters, and they're produced by the central nervous system and the pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland is kind of involved in all of this.
Right.
It's a command center.
The command center, exactly. What endorphins do is they actually block pain, and they interact with the opiate receptors in the brain to reduce the perception of pain. And they act similarly to drugs known as morphine and codeine.
So what the pharmaceutical people have done is try to manufacture that endorphin in a bottle or in a lab somewhere, and it has a bunch of side effects. And because I know you're just going to tell us what we need to do to increase our endorphins,
right? And it's very easy. So I just think this is so fun. So what endorphins? So runners get endorphin. They get endorphin high, right? Mm-hmm. That's what helps trigger. So there's also known as runner's high, and they help you perform well in intense situations. So if you have low endorphins, then you're emotionally sensitive. You have low pain tolerance. You crave comfort food, and you are often depressed if you are low in your endorphins. So how to increase your endorphins naturally is a diet rich in good fats, avocados, olives, and coconut. Get out in the sun, listen to music, exercise regularly, laugh more like Terrilena, and eat dark chocolate.
This is what I do.
And eat, what was that last one? Eat what?
Dark chocolate.
Yeah, okay. See, I can laugh and eat dark chocolate.
That's right.
But
so twice we've been eating dark chocolate.
Here's something to laugh at. Penelope Larry said, interesting information. I'm sure some men would like to start a campaign for no clothes in bed. We got some poor people. Okay.
Okay. So that's endorphins. And then adrenaline was the last one I wanted to kind of talk about. It's known as the flight or fight hormone. Okay. And it helps you deal with stress, concentrate on the most urgent tasks. It's sort of like you won't focus on that scraped knee as you're fleeing a burning building.
Okay.
Right. So that's what adrenaline does. So it's very, very important. And what it does is it helps you see better because it dilates your pupils. You actually see better. You see more when adrenaline is pumping through your body. And so you notice danger and you can avoid it. I didn't know that. And it also makes your brain.
Heightens your sensitivity to danger.
Yeah. And it also heightens your brain 2 to 3 times to move faster. Your brain actually moves faster 2 to 3 times than normal when adrenaline is speeding through your body. So it's very, very important. And it also restricts your veins so that it forces blood to your heart and to your brain. So when something is happening and your adrenaline is rushing, what you need is that heart to be pumping that blood all around. And it also prevents the airways from narrowing. So like if you have an allergic reaction to something, that's adrenaline. So that's those EpiPens. That EpiPens are basically adrenaline.
Interesting.
Yeah, because when a person's heart has failed, they hit them with the clear and shock them back to give them a jolt. So adrenaline is like a jolt to the system. That's really good to know. And so we'll talk about the EpiPen thing later, but continue. I want to know how to increase adrenaline naturally.
I don't know. It doesn't, it never didn't cover it.
Didn't add any information.
Well, if you go for a run, we don't need to be, confronted by a bear to kick it into gear.
Your adrenaline running. I don't remember the last time I had adrenaline that I was scared or upset, but I do remember, how your heart just goes, when you're in a situation where you're a little fearful or whatever, that's adrenaline that's running through your body, and it makes you more alert. And that's important for us, especially women, to keep ourselves safe.
Right.
And I didn't realize that adrenaline was a hormone.
I didn't either.
Right.
I talk about it and refer to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I know that there are supplements and foods that will help enhance all of these hormones.
That's right. And we will have Maureen come on and we will learn more about how to prepare our foods and what to eat and all that good stuff. So I'm excited about the subject of hormones. I think it's really fun. And it's huge. I mean, the subject is huge. This is just the beginning of
this is the intro.
Yeah, and there's so many more hormones that I didn't even cover. I picked the ones that I thought were the most common for us to know.
Yeah, this was excellent information, and I can see a little bit better now how this can help me. If you're feeling a particular symptom or something, it's not necessarily go pick up something in the over the counter at the drugstore. Find out what's going on. Have I been out in the sun today? Have I walked? Have I done a little exercise? Have we done anything? And I like what you said at the beginning, gave us a little science background on it, that hormones are actually molecules. It's like,
and they're created by all kinds of organs, our kidneys, our intestines, they all need to kind of work in sync with each other. And it's just fascinating. And you realize, and you think about the theme that we've been weaving throughout all of these talks about the sun, about the exercise, about getting good sleep. It's all related.
Connected.
Right.
See, and I think when you talked about, these hormones being molecules, I always think of molecules as little runners, like they're just running. They got the stuff and they're just running and they're delivering it. And here comes another one and he's delivering it. And so, because, I always like to make things simple. Okay.
And that's exactly what happens. They are
running back and forth like our messages on the internet.
And we need to not block them. Like putting up roadblocks and having them do detours and stuff. When if we eat right, rest right, hydrate well, let them do their job instead of cutting them off. Like, oh, now I got to go around here and climb up over stuff because she's putting the wrong things in.
Right.
This is good.
Hi, Ramel and Missy Oliver Carson's watching over here on Facebook, and we're also over on YouTube, guys.
Yeah.
But Robin, I just want to thank you. I really learned a lot today in such a short period of time. That's what I love about you. You get right to the point.
And hormones are not bad.
And we're always, not always, but a lot of times we hear them referred to in such a negative way, when in fact they're the runners to keep everything going. We better have some hormones.
And see, and what we're avoiding is the hormone imbalance.
That's right. And what we didn't cover today, because it was too big of a subject, is for women, we need to keep our own hormones in balance, because it affects our daily lives in terms of perimenopause, premenopause, PMS. We have hormones raging through our bodies from the time we're in puberty all the way to the time, well, now, I mean, it's such a huge subject, like hormone replacement therapy is not that good. It's, it's not good for your body. And yet that's what the doctors do for us. They put us on HRT. Whenever you're going,
well, it's better than what they used to do, which was just yank stuff out of us, so put us in mental institutions.
But the point is, now that we know better, we can do better, because Robin brought us some really good information about hormones and how to handle them. I was like, oh, and these are things that we can actually do ourselves.
Yep, like eat fish and eat bananas. We can just go to
and dark chocolate and cherries and go outside.
Listen to music and get a massage.
I like all of that.
I think one of the shows we will cover women in particular. So our female hormones. I think that would be a real interesting program, and I'll kind of think about how to do that. So we can have Maureen come on and talk about the nutrition part of it and what we can add for our foods and things. But I also want to cover female hormones, because all of us are in some shape or form. Like I don't have any. I mean, it's been a long time, because I had a hysterectomy when I was pretty young. So, how to deal with female hormones at whatever age. I think that would be interesting.
That would be good.
Young people watching this program and people that are maybe in childbearing ages, things like that. It'll be fun to go through some of that. I have to do some research though, because I can't talk about it.
But and whatever research you bring back, we appreciate you digging it up and helping us out. And that's what we do here on Thursdays. We talk about your health and wealthness. Without your health, there is no wealth. So we want to bring you information that you can use to take the hassle out of your hustle, because it is a major hassle if you're sick. Your hustle is all jacked up if you're not feeling good or you're not performing well physically. So we want to help you take the hassle out of your hustle and build a profitable business that's fun to run. You should enjoy your business. You should enjoy the work that you do, the assignment that you have to help other people. You should have fun doing it. We don't want to see you walking around on a cane, can't see some other stuff. So tune in on Thursdays. Every Thursday, you're going to get something that's going to help you build that part of your life. Tomorrow, we're talking tech. Monday, we'll be back on with coffee thoughts and another great Biz Chicks guest. So enjoy your day, people.
Wait. Don't forget the conference on Saturday.
Yes, there is a conference.
Sacramento area.
There is a conference.
I'm gonna be there.
Yay. Yeah. And Missy Anderson, who's watching with us now, she is going to be on the panel along with Shea Shasinga is on the panel. We have Linda Sharp, who's an attorney at law. She'll be on the panel. Margie Fair, who is a retired executive from Intel. She'll be on the panel. We have Danette McReynolds, another biz chick. She is a real estate investor. She'll be on the panel. And let's see. Oh, and Milena Arceo, she's going to be on the panel, and she is a life agent. So we've got a broad spectrum of ladies who are on the panel helping us out. So
yes, and if you have not met the Biz Chicks, come on over because we're definitely going to be there.
Yeah.
And Robin says she's going to be there. So come on out, meet Robin, Francine, myself. We'd love to meet you in person if we haven't already done so. And if we have, we just love to hug you. So
yes, we will.
I want to remind you, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you tomorrow, Tech Friday.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Thank you again, Robin.
See you later. See you Saturday.